Support Vector Machines, SVM, for beginners. Welcome to this hands-on Python lesson. Today, we will explore Support Vector Machines, or SVMs. SVMs are a type of machine learning model used for tasks like classifying emails or images. We will start from the basics and build up to using SVMs on real data. Let us get started. Running the cell now. We are making sure that any warning messages do not distract us. We are importing the warnings library. This line tells Python to ignore warning messages during our lesson. Running the cell now. What is a support vector machine? An SVM is a supervised machine learning method. It can predict if something belongs to category A or category B. SVM tries to find the best dividing line between different categories. You will see how it works soon. Running the cell now. We need to import some basic Python libraries for our work. NumPy helps us with math and working with numbers. Pandas helps organize and analyze data in tables. Matplotlib lets us draw helpful graphs and charts. This import lets us split our data into training and testing parts. This brings in the support vector classifier, which is the SVM model we will use. Running the cell now. Let us use a real dataset. We will use the iris dataset. It is small, famous, and lets us practice classification. Iris data has flower measurements and a type for each flower. Running the cell now. Now let us set up our iris data. We will load the iris dataset from sklearn libraries. We ask for the data as a pandas data frame, which makes it easy to view. This stores the flower data, including both measurements and target type. Let us print the shape to see how many rows and columns there are. Now we display the top rows of the table so we can see what is inside. Running the cell now. Take a look at the table. What columns and numbers do you see? Can you guess what we will predict? We want to know how many flowers there are of each type. Let us count how many times each target appears. Running the cell now. Remember, our goal is to predict this target column. Why do you think knowing how many of each type there are could help us? How does SVM work? SVM draws lines to separate data into categories. The line has to do the best job splitting groups apart. SVM can also work in more than 2 dimensions. Let us try a tiny SVM example to see how training works. Running the cell now. We will pick just 2 features so we can plot them easily. Here, X is a table with only 2 columns for sepal length and width. Y is what we want to predict, the target column. We create our SVM model and choose a linear kernel. This means it will try to draw straight lines. Now we let the SVM learn from the data using the fit command. Running the cell now. Great! Try changing which 2 features X uses to see what happens. Next, let us visualize what the model is doing. Let us draw the points for each flower. Their color shows their type. We make the figure a little bigger for visibility. Here we scatter plot our features and color according to flower type. We label the x-axis with sepal length. We label the y-axis with sepal width. Our chart gets a title to show what it is about. Now we will add the line the SVM is using to split the flowers. The SVM model calculates a weight and bias, which is just the equation for a straight line. We make a series of x values so we can draw a line smoothly across the data. These y values are computed so the line shows where the model splits the categories. We draw the red dashed line to show the model's best guess at separating flower types. This command displays everything on the graph. Running the cell now. Can you see how the red line tries to split the different groups? Try changing the features in X and see what changes. Now we will split our data into two groups. X will use all the measurements except the target. Y is the thing to predict. We split so some data is only used for testing, not for training. This helps measure how good our model is. Let us print the size of the training set. Here is the size of our testing set. The random underscore state makes results repeatable. Running the cell now. Why do you think testing on never-seen data is important? Pick a different test underscore size if you want more practice. We create a classifier that uses the linear kernel again. Now we let our SVM learn from our training data. After fitting, the model is ready to make predictions. Running the cell now. Now we ask the model to guess the type for each flower in our test set. These are the first 10 predictions that the model makes. You can see what types the model predicted. Here you see what the actual flower types are. Running the cell now. Look at how predictions and actual values match. Are there differences? Can you think of reasons why a model might get some wrong? We want to measure how often our model is right. This brings in a tool to measure accuracy. Here we calculate the accuracy score between the actual and predicted values. Now we print the model's accuracy as a number between 0 and 1. Running the cell now. A higher number means a better model. Try changing random underscore state in train underscore test underscore split to see if accuracy changes. SVM can use different kernels to try to separate data in more complex ways. Here we make a new SVM that uses the RBF kernel, which can make curves instead of lines. We train this new model on the same training data. We predict using the new model. Now we measure the accuracy of this nonlinear SVM model. We print the nonlinear kernel accuracy for comparison. Running the cell now. Was the new accuracy better or the same? Sometimes different kernels work better for different kinds of data. Let us see what happens when we change the C parameter. This value tells the SVM how much to allow incorrect guesses. Type a value for C when you are asked. Try 0.1, 1, or 10 for good practice. We make an SVM with your C value. We train it on the same data. We get predictions using this new SVM. We calculate the accuracy again. Now we print the accuracy so you can compare. Running the cell now. Try a few C values and notice what happens. Smaller C tries to draw a simpler boundary, even if there are a few mistakes. Larger C tries to predict every training point exactly, but sometimes that is not the best for new data. SVMs can work with just two classes. Let us select only rows where target is 0 or 1. We make X and Y from this smaller dataset. We prepare data for training again. Y_bin will hold the targets for these two flower types. Now we split into train and test for this task. We make a new SVM for this small group. We train the model on only these two types. Now we predict the types for the test set. We measure accuracy with just two flower classes. Finally, we print the result. Running the cell now. How did the accuracy for two classes compare to 3? Try this for different pairs of flower types. It is helpful to see which test items our model got wrong. We look for test examples where prediction does not match what it should be. Here are the positions in the test set where mistakes happened. Here are the model's predictions for those rows. Now the real answers. Notice if there is a pattern in what got missed. Running the cell now. Let us try making a prediction for a flower you invent. The program will ask you for 4 numbers. We collect your answers and turn them into a table for the model. Now we make a prediction using our trained model. Finally, we print the flower type our SVM thinks you made. Running the cell now. Try inventing a few different flowers. Did the prediction change? Can you trick the model by putting in odd numbers? Let us practice printing something from the model. Support vectors are special points that define the boundary. We use a for loop to go over each support vector in our model. For each support vector, we print its numbers. These are important to how SVM draws the line. Running the cell now. Try counting how many support vectors the model found. Why do you think these are important for SVM? Recap. What have we learned? What SVMs are and why we use them. How to load data and fit an SVM model. How to measure model performance. That SVMs work for both 2 and more classes. Changing parameters can change model results. Great job making it to the end. Running the cell now. Challenge. Try your own. Pick new test_size and kernel values. Use another dataset from Sklern, like wine or digits, with an SVM. Share your results and what you learned in the comments below. If you liked this lesson, subscribe for more coding videos. Running the cell now. That is it for this lesson. Great work! Remember to subscribe and keep practicing Python.